Heidi, a first at the PIC this week, somebody who came to get testimony facing a cross-examination. How did it go?
Exactly. So this was the first of its kind. We've never seen anybody being cross-examined. That is a witness that comes to testify. But you must remember that UDM leader Bantu Holomisa has been key in bringing forth evidence and testimony about the PIC and questioning the kinds of investments that the PIC has been involved in. And when Bantu Holomisa testified a couple of weeks ago, he heavily implicated a number of companies, one being Lebashe Investment Group. And this is a company that Holomisa says needs to be thoroughly investigated because of the kind of involvement that its directors previously had with the PIC, one being the Deputy Finance Minister, Jabu Moleketi, who was the Deputy Finance Minister, which automatically made him the chairperson of the PIC board. And straight after he left government, he then joined Lebashe, as well as another PIC staff member. As soon as he left the PIC, he also became a director at Lebashe. So Holomisa's whole argument is that this needs to be further investigated and interrogated, and this is why he testified last week.
And that's when he also called for an extension of the commission's, of the inquiry's work as well.
Exactly, which was eventually granted by the president. But what was key, I think, that needs to be mentioned about his cross-examination was that he claimed that, he brought all these questions to the commission, not necessarily saying that he has all the evidence about all the companies that he's implicated, but rather for the commission to do its work and to dig a little deeper. And this is when he also confessed that he does not actually have any proof when it comes to Lebashe.
And then he was in for a bit of a grilling then during the cross-examination, wasn't he?
Exactly, especially from Lebashe's legal team, basically sitting him down and saying, but where is the evidence? Where exactly can you prove that there was any wrongdoing from the PIC investing into Lebashe and giving Lebashe a loan? Because that is essentially what a lot of the work is, what the PIC does, is giving funding or investing into various companies. And he confessed and he said, I don't actually have tangible evidence. And you must remember, he gave stacks and stacks of files to the PIC inquiry when he testified a couple of weeks ago. And everybody thought that perhaps Lebashe's evidence would be in those files. And he said, when he was asked, he said, actually, that those files are about a completely different investment that the commission should investigate, and it's not about Lebashe, which really frustrated the legal team of Lebashe because they want to see the evidence. But Holomisa was really not backing down, and he was very strong in saying that it needs to be investigated. There is a rotten apple somewhere.
So he's saying where there's smoke, there's fire, and the inquiry needs to find the fire.
Yes.
What are we hearing from the inquiry? Are they investigating any of his claims?
Well, they're going to have to because, I must add that throughout this inquiry, when it started in January, a number of people have been implicated, very serious allegations against various companies, against various individuals, as well as our Deputy Finance Minister, Modliko Nkubele. So they are really going to have to dig in and really figure out what is going on. And I think that is also why the President has granted that extension until the 31st of July, when initially it was the deadline was the 15th of April. And that is why they need to actually sit down and listen to everything and gather all the evidence to figure out whether or not it holds any water.
So it's still a long way to go. What can we expect this week?
So we do know and we do understand that tomorrow is Monday, yes. Tomorrow, Holomisa will continue to be cross-examined until Lebashe's legal team feels they're done with their cross-examination. But we also do understand that Lebashe's directors will also take the stand and give their testimony and their version of events. But there was a bit of an argument on Wednesday about whether or not Holomisa can cross-examine Lebashe, and this is because there's a rule that if you are implicated, you can cross-examine, and this is why Lebashe is cross-examining Holomisa. But Lebashe has not implicated Holomisa, and therefore Holomisa cannot cross-examine Lebashe. So the judge will have to rule on that and figure out who can cross-examine Lebashe and if it will in fact be the evidence leader of the inquiry.
Goodness me, it just gets more complex, doesn't it?
Days of our lives. I always say it's like Days of our lives.
South Africa, the movie. Heidi Jokas bringing us the very latest on the PIC. Be sure to follow her both here on ENCA and on social media as she brings us live updates as and when it happens at the PIC inquiry.